justice for Bryan Lamar Johns.
And then after that is Nancy. You have to be ready.
My name is Raymond Lewis Ivy. I was born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, and grew up in the Cabrini Green housing projects from 1958 to 1976. I had some brushes with the law and went to prison, got education, became an EMT and became an EMT instructor. Matter of fact, I made it down in this area in Vienna and Shawnee, and I worked with a lady named Dottie Miles. She was one of the highest powerful paramedics in this area. But what I want to talk to y'all about now, when I grew up in Chicago, when I got out of prison, I came down to Charleston, Missouri, where my dad was born and raised. I have family here somewhere in Carbondale, Cairo. But my son, he had got out of prison, and he came down here to live in Carbondale, Illinois. I don't know if any of you all may know him. If you can, by just a raise of hands, can y'all tell me how many of y'all are familiar with Bryan Lamar Johns? Any of y'all tell me, the best of your recollection, on Friday, March the 19th, 2021, in the Gaslights Apartments at 400 North Oakland Street, on the 3rd floor in the hallway, a 45-year-old black man was found hung. Can you get a raise of hands if anybody know about that? Okay, I'm his father, and today makes 226 days. This folder you see in my hand, I know the law. I learned the law when I was in prison. But this folder is a folder that the Carbondale Police Department, you know, I normally put the corruption in the middle of it. But this is what I got. They said they had a death investigation going on. Only when me and my two youngest daughters, that's one of them there, 15, and they highly intelligent, I educate them at home. The other 16-year-old couldn't come because she had work. But we came and combed these streets starting on March the 24th. They turned it into what they called a death investigation. Now, if you got a death investigation going on, you don't just go around to drug addicts. Because my son, I'm not gonna lie, he got addicted to meth when he got around the wrong people down here. But you look for the community. You put it in the newspaper. I went to the Southern, the Egyptian, and all the rest of them, and asked them to hear my son's side of the story, not what the Carbondale police said. The Carbondale police would make you feel that my son committed suicide either because he was addicted to drugs or a mental illness. I got DVDs. I got a YouTube channel that I dedicated to him. It's Raymond Ivy YouTube channel. But the bottom line is, this here is a pack of lies. The newspaper wouldn't print his story, and I know why, because they worked hand in hand with the Carbon. I'm talking about with the chief, this newly elected Spanish prosecuting attorney. I talked to him personally. You know what he told me? On August the 5th, when I talked to him, he told me everything. I talked to him for about 45 minutes. I could have went and talked to a clerk in Walmart because he hadn't got any of the paperwork back. That was on August the 5th. He didn't know on August the 5th I was down in Murfreesboro and went to the coroner's department and got my son's coroner report from a deputy coroner who's not even a doctor, who all of them, paramedics and everybody, declared my son committed suicide before they did any type of testing. They recommended to my son's mother, who came from Chicago, why don't you have him cremated down here in Carbondale? This is for any toxicology tests. They wasn't going to do an autopsy. He said, we can get him cremated for cheap down here. She said, talk to his father. They didn't want to talk to me. My bottom line is, I finally God blessed me with a Chicago, Illinois, Chicago Sun-Times newspaper journalist seen my YouTube videos, and he got this same thing. And I'm asking y'all to get the Freedom of Information Act for Bryan Lamar Johns. And if y'all know any lawyers, y'all know any other people, I come down here a few times when they had the Breonna Taylor March, the George Floyd, when this brother, somebody told me about the brother here, I think we talked on the phone about his granddaughter. They sent me some video, and I put it on my YouTube channel because his granddaughter could have been my 15-year-old daughter, and I said if I'd have seen them slamming mine, I might have had a case. But my bottom line is, you know, if you're going to talk about unity, one thing about me, I don't care. I give respect to all people. It don't matter what your political, philosophical, personal, nor your religious beliefs may be. You could be a Muslim, assalamu alaikum. You could be a Christian. You could be a Democrat or a Republican. All I'm saying is, if we talking about unity, I'm fighting for y'all. And y'all can help me fight for my son. I'm not a resident here, but my son was. He wasn't just a mental ill individual. You ever seen anybody commit suicide? And I'm gonna stop. With money in the hand, how you gonna tie it up? You ever seen a drug addict commit suicide with money in their hand and drugs in their socks? Never. These people set my son up, and you know they done did all type of things. I don't take threats lightly. I'm not scared of their jails. I'm not scared. I'm gonna leave it like this here. Martin Luther King said, he said, some of us gonna lose our jobs. Some of us gonna use our freedom. I done lost my job in Charleston for fighting up against racism and wrong. I done lost my freedom, and I'm willing to lose my life to show these people that these Carbondale Police Department has something to do with it. Me and my daughter just left a lady that claims she seen a hatchet in my son's hand, but she don't know I have the thing right here. You couldn't see no hatchet in my son's hand. But all they trying to do, y'all, just like with his granddaughter, they trying to do with my son. But if I have to keep coming from Charleston, Missouri, I'm going to keep on coming. And I apologize, Miss Jenna. You know it's hard for me. I know the one that just left. I know he can talk. But I apologize to all of y'all. But I just want to get some justice for my son.